he's probably crossing this very minute over in Charlottetown to the Liberal Party. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think it's awful because he was a good fellow for our community, and he's a smart young man, and he's good to keep on top of things, and he was a good leader, I think, for the Conservatives.
Do you think he's better off staying with the Conservatives? Do you think he'll be able to better serve the community as a Conservative?
Well, I think he'll service both, Liberal or Conservatives. Because he's very outspoken and that was very good.
Do you feel that he is maybe going back on the people that voted for him as a Conservative representative?
Yes, I think so, yeah. Because they voted for him because they figure he was really good to, get his message across, and he was always on top of everything that went on.
I didn't know why would he cross over like.
Would you be okay mentioning whether or not you voted for him?
No, I didn't vote for him.
No?
I'm a Liberal. But I know that his father and most of all that, I was pretty sure that all his family dating way back were always Liberals.
Now, what do you think of him as an MLA, as a representative?
Well, I think he's a good man. I would say he's a good man.
And
he's smart, and he seems that what he's talking about.
How much does this change mean to you?
Look, around here, I don't think it matters too much. Things is done to suit themselves or whoever, but I think it's running pretty good. I'm on a pension myself, and I'm drawing old age. So as long as there's a few doctors around and stuff like that, schooling, I guess that's good enough.
Do you think he's going back on the people who put him into power as a Conservative MLA?
I kind of half think that fellow will get some votes. He'll get votes. He'll probably do fairly good.
Do you think this is good or bad for Tignish, or do you think it really matters?
Well, the government, the provincial government is Liberal, and I think it wouldn't be bad to have a Liberal representative for Tignish.
So you say this is a surprise to you. If it were up to you, would you prefer he stayed Conservative or whenever he's a Liberal, or does it matter?
Well, for me, I think I'd sooner if he was a Liberal.
So you're okay with the switch?
Oh, I'm okay with the switch. Don't bother me one bit. That's going on all the time. Things couldn't have been working good for him that way, so why not?
I was somewhat surprised that Hal was crossing the floor. I had a conversation with Hal a long while ago, and I got the feeling that Hal may be interested in crossing the floor. My view on Hal Perry, I think Hal Perry is a very smart individual. I think he's there to help the people, but in the circumstances that he's in right now, with the dysfunction with the Tory party, I don't think he's able to help his constituents. Okay, and I'm not saying constituents just for the people that voted for him, but the constituents in District 27. I think Hal is cut like an old-time, what I call an old-time politician. An old-time politician is like, you're very vocal, you're out helping the people, organizing, trying to get things, for the people. But he was, with the dysfunction in the Tory party and Prince Edward Island and the provincial party, I think that his hands were tied. Because, as you know, the federal government is Tory, and they're cutting back on Eastern Canada here quite severely as far as unemployment and stuff goes, and it's hurting our economy. And Hal knows that, and Hal wanted to speak out on it, but in his situation, being an MLA for the Tory party in Prince Edward Island, he couldn't. So I think the only advantage that he had for himself was to move across the floor to the Liberal Party, so he can, speak his mind and use the true heart that he really has for the people. That's my opinion for Hal.
Now, do you think that this change is going to help him be able to help the community of Tignish more? Do you think this is a good change for the Tignish community?
For the community of Tignish, I think yes, it will be. I think Hal showed his colours in the Irish Moss here last June. He was a great help to the community. He was a great help to our rec director. He worked well with everybody here in the community. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about Hal Perry. And I'm glad that he stepped across the floor, because I honestly think, not because I'm support one party together. I mean, I have to worry about the community of Tignish, and I think it's a great advantage to the community with Hal crossing the floor, because I honestly think that the Liberals are going to get in the next election, because I think the Tories are too dysfunctional right now to do that. That's just my opinion, and you know, and that doesn't mean a whole lot sometimes. But I think that by him doing that, it will be a benefit to District 27. I honestly think it will be.
And do you think people are going to see this difference?
If they don't, I hope they do. I hope that Hal comes out and explains the reason why. I think he already explained somewhat why he moved across the floor. But I think that by Hal moving across the floor right now is going to be a great benefit to the community of Tignish and the surrounding areas, especially District 27. Because, you know, as I, when an MLA isn't in the powering politics, like, you know, if they're in the opposition, their riding doesn't seem to get as much as if they were elected. I mean, you know, as an official party. So I think that you'll see a big change very shortly in the amount of stuff that's coming in District 27. You know, not only Tignish, but I mean the surrounding areas as well.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I welcome Hal Perry, you know, crossing the floor to the Liberals. I honestly think it's the right move for him to make right now in order to help the people.